Hello and welcome to Flippin Through the Internet #1 Mad Magazine review and interview channel. Um, oops, that's better. So I decided on a whim. I don't know. I feel like I haven't done any extremely modern issues of Mad Magazine, so I thought, what better Mad Magazine final Mad Magazine issue? Of course, this is number 550, released April 2018. Our price, $5.99, which is indeed cheap. Before I dig into it, please remember to like, subscribe channel, share it out if you can. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I'm trying to make this channel grow, and my next landmark is 200, and I'm at 170 now. Um, anyway, share it out. I really appreciate it. Leave a comment, all of that good stuff. If you have any requests, let me know, and I will gladly fulfill them if I have the issue. So, anyway, um, just like a lovely cover. I don't know. There's not much to say. Uh, I guess in a way, then Alfred E. Newman, mad. This, of course, was when they were leaving New York City. So it's like you have the skyline of New York City, the I Love New York signature T-shirt changed up. You know, I don't know. I have to say it's a fairly unspectacular final issue, um, or final cover. But what are you gonna do? You kind of have to acknowledge it. It's almost like when they have landmark issues like issue 100 of a magazine and they don't acknowledge it. Like, well, it is kind of a big deal. You made it 100, so um, here we go. Look at this. This is something that I was not totally aware of. I don't know. I guess I just sort of breezed by these, but there was Goodnight Batcave, and then the Superman in the. Okay, I should address that. That's my cat, and she yeah, it was extremely loud, and she got locked into this room with me. So hopefully that's all we're gonna hear from her. But it gets worse. But anyway, the like Alexander and the No Good Very Bad. Okay, and like I don't know, they have access to the DC characters since they're owned by DC. Here we have just like another crummy uh, table of contents. That's one thing that Mad never seemed to figure out. Though when they had the vital features on the side, that was my personal favorite. It's like, look at here. I'm assuming those are the same thing as the vital features, but it's just not the same, right? Because you don't. I don't know. Oh, look at this. One thing that's kind of amusing is like how wholesome the letters department became. Especially like, looking back at the really old ones, you would get these like very like 3 lines of text just making like this throwaway joke that they printed. And now look at you get like I'm writing to you great hopes that you will be co-conspirators in my grand and devious scheme to woman who I clearly do not deserve marriage. And it's like there's just so much, and then like a Janine, will you marry me? I don't know. I bet Janine said no. Um, like that was needlessly rude, but I don't know. It's just like it loses something, right? It's just like I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm afraid that I'm becoming a cynic. Um, oh, this is cool. Letter and Tomatoes. Gotcha artist credits. But this is something I'm going to come back to, because I think that was something that came up in a what do you call it? An interview that I did with Matt Lassen. So here we have some amazing stuff. The Fundlini pages is like one of my favorite. um, I just saw this, and I love it. Old timey colonoscopies. Teresa Burns Parkhurst. There was another one. I think it was, I forget. It was, I know who the artist is, but I forget the name. There was a gag about a drive-through colonoscopy, and apparently that's my thing. That'll really get me laughing. Here we have the Fast Five. Like I just loved all of these things like crammed together. So they had it also in shorts and briefs. But I think Fundalini was more of my favorite because you had stuff like the cover we didn't use. You had all these one-panel cartoons, then you had stuff like this. Fast Five. How to protect yourself against hackers. Immediately change your password, social security number, and mother's maiden name. Uh, Convert all your money into untraceable cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin or Dave and Buster's PowerPoints. If canceling all your credit cards and opening a new account seems daunting, keep in mind that Wells Fargo has probably already opened a new account for you without your knowledge. Remember, hackers can't ruin your credit score if you ruin your credit score first. And stop using any electronic devices until the whole thing blows over. So, writer Kenny Keel, uh, which I think that's how you pronounce his name. I am in contact with him to come on the show for an interview. This is very bad. Um, I'll keep you posted on that. Um, but yeah, look, the Fundalini page is just chock full of fantastic gags. Here we have, yeah, I thought this looked familiar. This is written by Matt Lassen. So that's the other thing that's been nice about interviewing these artists and writers is that I get to see their work. Matt Lassen, if you, it, we'll put the thing up there. I mean, he had not like the longest tenure at Mad Magazine, but is if you go to Doug Gilmour's cover site, you will see like he has an incredible list of work as a writer at Mad Magazine. It was very quite impressive. Um, Now this guy John Adams, um, I was gonna say he went on to become the God. I just read this gag. Uh, oh, thank God, there's food. Um, so he went on to do the art for the reboot of um, the lighter side of, and I thought that I mean his art perfect for the lighter side of, because it's like it was reminiscent of Dave Berg's art, but it was also better art than Dave Berg's art. So again, listen, guys, I really apologize. First aid for choking victim in the digital age. This is Puss. This is a show I know nothing about, but it's like one of those things that everybody loved, including my wife. I think this is the guy that she said I look like, or that reminds me of her. Wait, no, no, it doesn't remind me of her. Reminds her of me. Yeah. Um, but this is obviously Tom Richmond, right? Yeah, Desmond Delvin writer, Tom Richmond, um, artist. Listen, I should probably admit this. Uh, this is like the great shame I've carried with me for so long. I don't think I've ever read a full movie spoof, but I can't be the only one, right? Really hope so. Boomers versus millennials. This is great. Um, this was great at the time this was released, right? Like what, 2018. That's when everybody was hating on millennials. And I'm sure some people do. Writer Kenny Keel and artist Rick Tolka and Justin Peterson. I think Justin Peterson went on to do another thing for Kenny Keel, which is um, I think he did the Dewey Derwin thing. It looks like he was the artist for that. Um, then the Boomers colorist, Jim Campbell. Um, that's interesting. Does Tolka not color? Is he not a? He doesn't do colors. Anyway, Rick Tolka, obviously one of like the great caricature artists, and so it's kind of cool to see his style up against a more modern style. Uh, and so, like, yeah, Boomer once went to Europe and used rolls of film. Millennial once went to the bathroom and took 10 selfies. I think, like, yeah, Boomer worked her way up from mailroom clerk to CEO. Millennial worked her way up from unpaid intern to unpaid fellow with bathroom key. Boomers can't friggin' stand Gen X. Millennials, same. Listen, my siblings are. I'm a millennial, but I think half of my siblings are Gen X. Listen, I'm not bothered saying this because I know they don't watch my show, but they're real stinkers, right? That's all I'm gonna say. Oh wait, you guys might be Gen X. Ah, shit. Anyway, Boomer would be a millionaire if he'd kept his baseball card collection. Millennial would be a millionaire if he hadn't spent his life savings on Pokemon cards. It's like so with this one, like the selfie joke and um, the whole thing of like not getting a good job. Like all of these are jokes now that seem played out. So it's like I don't find this funny, but it's because I don't know if that's because it's not funny or if it's because in 2018 it was good, but then everybody started making the same joke. I don't know. Maybe I hope that makes sense. Donald Trump's letter to the incoming president become a tradition in our country for an outgoing president to leave and a letter for the incoming president that offers congratulations, support, and wisdom. Given the White House's current resident, we're curious about the kind of letter the next president will receive. 3 years or hopefully less. So please pardon us. See what we did there? We wistfully contemplate Donald Trump's letter to the incoming president. I'm very interested to read this because I wonder how it aged. Uh, I mean, like, who knows? Dear incoming president, congratulations on your victory. Well, it wasn't as historic as mine, which, the biggest electoral win since Reagan, you still won. Don't feel bad that your inauguration crowd didn't match mine, which was the biggest ever, despite those fake news photos proving otherwise. Welcome to the White House, even though it's a dump. I mean, it was a dump when I got here. That's what a lot of people were saying. So gold plated everything, and now it's the most beautiful it's ever been, going all the way back to George Washington. I'm a very intelligent person, okay? Very intelligent. So I would say it's probably a good idea, a very good idea if you take my advice. Hire only the best people, kind who will give you a loyalty pledge, not rescue themselves if you're under investigation, or flip on you if they're threatened with jail time. Strongly recommend family members. Um, I don't know. I don't even know if I'm that interested in finishing reading this. Kofifi joke, Putin joke. Uh, yeah. All right. I don't know, man. Like, so hard to tell with these. Maybe reading a recent one was a bad idea. Here's a delightful Cooper, Spy versus Spy. I really listen. I was not that big of a fan of Cooper when he first took over. It was like a jarring difference, uh, but I grew to really like his style with Spy versus Spy, and I appreciate now more than before that choice to shift it stylistically so significantly. Um, Workers we'd like go a day without. Kevin Pope, the great artist Kevin Pope. If you, I mean, I think it's apparent. I really like the gross out stuff. Writer Allison Grams. Um, Workers we'd like to go a day without. Workers who refuse to take part in Secret Santa. I gotta say, I'm with this guy. I'm really with this guy. Workers who eat other people's food from the communal refrigerator. Workers who pressure everyone to buy Powerball tickets. This is the same thing, right? Like these people are this person, right? You're like, you're pressuring me to buy a gift, man. I don't want to be in a white elephant thing. That's pressure. Same thing. Workers who smoke right outside the entrance to a building. Workers who guilt fellow coworkers to buying Girl Scout cookies. Workers who don't shower after their midday gym. Where does this person work? This is awful. Jeez. Oh, great. Look at this. I screwed this up. This is artist Anton Emden. I love this art. This art kind of reminds me of Bill Ray, his style. I get a little Bill Ray in there, and then, gosh, who does this little dude remind me of? Is it like I'm getting a little Jack Davis out of this guy too? This really reminds me. I think it was the last issue. There was the football players. And maybe that's what is really making it click, but I think there's something else about it, like the way he's. I think we get some Jack Davis inspiration here, and a little bit of Bill Ray too. Oops. Oh, apologize. All right. Things you don't want to hear coming from the next bathroom stall. Hello, Mr. Toilet. I hope you're hungry. My kid, I got one little kid, and she took a dump in the toilet, and she flushed it, and she said, "Goodbye, poop. See you later." And it just struck me like the "see you later" was so disgusting to me. Uh, Another pair of wingtips ruined. At last, a perfectly rendered "Don't tread on me." Man, if they bombed Syria like this, the war would be over. Dial a mattress. Is it true that you'll never deliver anywhere? Wait, is it true that you'll deliver anywhere? Well, I screwed that up. Hey, Rush, first time caller, long time listener. Get this. There's some great chicken fat in here, like crammed in everywhere. Got Max Corn. What else? We have Arthur, the avocado plant. You fit in the Mad Zeppelin or the what's that? The Poyet. Oh yeah, there it is, right there. There's the little Poyet. Didn't mean to scream into the microphone about that. The life and times of Jerry the Pound Sign. Writer and artist Teresa Burns Parkhurst. So the one with the. Okay, I'm gonna read some of this because she made me laugh pretty hard with that butt joke. Oh, okay. And no, I'm not gonna read it. I'm gonna keep. All right. So this is the part that I was really excited at the start of the magazine, which has this key. And this is something that Matt Lassen talked about in his interview, which is the mugshots. And it's where one of his image, I think that I had even on the thumbnail, came from. So this is the gotcha mugshots of common but despicable criminals. And so all of these people are artists or writers at Mad Magazine. And for the final issue, this is one of the cooler things. Um, we have like what do we have? Okay, who can I recognize? That's like kind of harder to do. You have Tom Bunk, and I think I figured out. I'll tell you, I did a rare edit. I just went looking through this, then my cat started really going off the rails, so I have to re-record. Um, but anyway, so it's like Tom Bunk. I think he did that painting of himself. Cooper, that's his style. That's a self-portrait. Um, I'm assuming that this guy, I forget his name already. I just looked at it. That guy is that's a self-portrait. And obviously Sergio Aragonés, that's a self-portrait. But it's so cool to see. I mean, if not like they aren't outright named. Yeah, there's Matt Lassen. They aren't outright named. It's still such a cool send off for issue 550 as they shift over into California. Um, and I don't know. It just seems like a pretty neat way to acknowledge the people who've put a lot of hard work into this. Um, oh, this is the guy I'm assuming that does It Only Hurts When I Laugh. I think that's the name of it. It was usually in the strip club. Um, yeah, there's Dick DiBartolo. This here Cooper did this guy. I don't know who he is. Um, and Tom Richmond drew himself. And Tom Richmond looking like a real badass. Like he drew himself as a real criminal, right? He's looking rough and gruff, and but he's still recognizably him. He kind of does look like a badass, though, right? There's Aragones doing a drawing of somebody. I would be impressed if somebody knew all these people. Let's see, just quick. Um, Number one, this is a Sam Viviano. I guess I should have been able to recognize that. That's Scott Mako. Tom Bunk by Tom Bunk. That's Desmond Delvin by Tom Richmond. Paul Coker. My man. Paul Coker. Oh man. I love Paul Coker. Uh Bob Stake. Teresa Burns Parkhurst. Justin Peterson. Herman Mieja. Sergio Aragones. The Sam Cisco drawing of Jonathan Bresman. Anyway, you don't want to go through all these, but it's pretty darn cool, I think. Um, Here's the strip club, uh, uh, which I mean these ones they're so good. Like, what's this? This one looks like it'd be funny. Um, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. What would Mom say about this? My God, you're right. Can't leave you in a hot car. Come with me. Wow, there goes a responsible father. Thanks for noticing. Oh my gosh. That's a good comic strip right there. The future of job automation. 2025, McDonald's staff becomes fully automated, leading to higher profits, shorter wait times, and a dramatic uptick in customers finding lug nuts in their Big Macs. This is going to happen, though, isn't it? 2036, Starbucks develops a robotic barista that can misspell up to 120 customer names per hour. 2038, U.S. Postal Service introduces the Demolisher, an automaton capable of destroying fragile packages 10 times the efficiency of human mail carriers. I like this. The Honorable Judge Justice Bot X 9000 is appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. That's like, this is kind of a tangent. This is absolutely a tangent. Uh, the the jobs like that, like law jobs, being a law clerk, a lot of being a lawyer is just knowing information. Uh, and guess what? Robots can do that really well. So there's all sorts of white collar jobs that are going to get wiped out by AI and computer programs. Meanwhile, uh, all the plumbers in the world are stoked as hell because it's really hard to do to program a robot to climb under a sink and do work. So, congratulations, plumbers. Oh gosh, look at this beautiful Tom Bunk. Selected observations from random autopsies. Ew, gross. Showed more menstrual bleeding than is common for a man. Oh, like I love that Tom Bunk is ragging on Green Lantern back there. Oh gosh, it's so disgusting. I don't even want to think about how 27 Monopoly hotels ended up in subject's colon. Deceased appears to have had tonsils removed and replaced with artificial ones. You can do that with your testicles. Oh man, look at Justice League. Oof. You know, I'll say this. I feel bad that Sergio was assigned stuff like this. It's the first off, the movie was not good, and I say that as somebody who is uh, heavily emotionally invested in DC Comics. Uh, it was not a good movie. Uh, but to have Sergio do movie spoofs, we already have somebody doing movie spoofs. Look at we have it up here. Right? You know what I'm saying, right? This is we have that already. Don't give me the Justice League movie spoof in a Mad Look At. I mean, if you want to do the Aquaman pissing in the ocean gag, do that. Why tie it to a franchise? Well, of course, because they're owned by DC and it's vertical integration, right? I mean, is that me being cynical? I don't know. That's my guess, though, is that he was told to do that. I do not see Sergio saying like, "Yo, guys, I got this hilarious idea. I'm going to lampoon a movie. Here we go. Okay, I've moved on. I turned the page and now I'm over it. Dewey Derwin destroys the world. So this is one that I want to reread. Um, Artist Justin Peterson, writer Kenny Keel. I want to reread it because I I enjoyed the return to like a comic format. Like I've brought it up before, it's like in the first comic issues, you had multi-page comic stories, and then we switched over to a magazine, and it was magazine format, and it was great. I love it, obviously, but I thought this was so cool to have. Part of my memory, I thought, obviously, I misremember, but I thought it was, I thought it was happening in the reboot, but clearly, I am, I was wrong. And I'm not too big to admit that. Olive garbage. Now, through our next health department inspection, spaghetti excrementi del rato. That's really horrible. I hate that. Scott Mako. Thanks a lot. At Olive Garbage, the never-ending breadsticks are on us. They're steeped in some sort of greasy, dripping oil, so the stains they leave on your shirt are permanent. I remember losing my mind over this. Like sometimes I get embarrassed by what in Mad Magazine makes me laugh, but the uh this is gonna get me in trouble. Uh Extra thick sausage stuffed manicotti el porno overstuffed pasta arranged obscenely on a plate with two round meatballs delivered by a waiter with a bad mustache, serenading you with the traditional Italiano song, Bow Chicka Wow. Like, to me, this is high art. The chicken subpoena, shrimp skimpy. It's just, yeah, Scott Mako, golly. This was like, I remember this. I remember liking it then. I like it now. Yeah, that was perfect. Sean Hannity, what's on Sean Hannity's desk? Voodoo dolls of competitors. Is it? I don't know who these people are. That's the lady from MSNBC? But I really Greta, no, Gert. It's I don't know. I have no idea who that is though. Softball to remind him what kind of questions to ask Republicans appearing on his show. I like that. I do like that one. Comb dripping with whatever that stuff he puts in his hair is. Yeah, what's up? What's up with Sean Hannity? He's always looked like 47. He's always looked like kind of an old dude. Sort of like who is that guy? Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro just always looks like I don't know, like a young boy. Like he tries to dress up and he wears like suit coats, but it's like you look like a boy, man. You know, he just has this like little smooth face. Honorary diploma from Trump University. Dent from Coffee Mug thrown by Roger Ailes the night Obama's first election. Prototype of the Mexican border wall made from post-it notes. I don't really get this one. Julian accepted your friend request? God, everybody hated Julian Assange. Do people love him now? Alejandro Rivas is one of my favorite artists whose name I can never remember. I love his style so much. This dude is a master. Look at that. That's all watercolor too. Golly, he's good. Uh Brutally honest park bench plaques. Sheila Godsick, loved dearly by three of her four children. Iris, Iggy, and Ivan, but not Herb. Cinnamon Raisin Hell, aka Donna McAllister. Hard to believe that we never figured out she was a stripper. Alicia Moore, who came here to write poetry, which she sucked at. Mr. Biggles, who peed around here so often you can still smell the stench of his urine. I like this. Allison Grams. Allison Grams got a lot of credits in here. Matt fold in. I'm not gonna fold it in. Listen, I'm gonna sound like a real rube, a real moron. Uh when I saw this, all get ready for an all new man and an all new Mad. I honestly, for a moment, fell for this. And I remember making an Instagram post, and my aunt, Di, pointing out to me that I would have to be an idiot to think that they were going to do this. Well, it turns out, Di, I am an idiot. So who's laughing now? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. This is I guess I listen. It's a middling issue, I have to say. It wasn't horrible. I think there was enough really good stuff to like kind of make it worthwhile, but most of it fell flat. That's the problem. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Remember, hit like, subscribe, and share this out. I really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day. Toodaloo.